Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to Washington Hebrew. Welcome to this wonderful opportunity to come together, to worship together, to get out of the cold rain into a nice warm sanctuary. But those of you getting too comfortable, don't get too comfortable, because warmth and coziness, you'll be like me and snoozing in no time. So we come in and take the opportunity to turn an ordinary space into a sacred space. We have the opportunity to turn a place that is physically just a room into a sanctuary by what we choose to bring and what we turn our hearts towards. So first we take a moment to turn our hearts towards each other, to welcome the countenance of the creation, that we're all created in the image of God. We take a moment to greet and wish a Shabbat Shalom to those around us. I said nothing about kissing or snoozing. So we also would like you to do us another favor, and that's so we may have the appropriate kavanah, the best intentions of our hearts, to take all those things that might distract us. Stop looking at your spouses. To take a moment, and just, if you have something electronic that you might think would be service, if you could go radical and turn it all the way off. And then we turn our attention to the opportunity to meet the countenance of Shabbat and worship together. It's my privilege first to call upon the president of our congregation to introduce the chairs of this meeting. Chair Goodman, come.
Good evening and Shabbat Shalom. I know that you all share my excitement to begin this celebration of Cantor Manevich's 25th anniversary, and to have this opportunity to express our love and deep appreciation to Cantor and to his family for brightening our lives, comforting us, and inspiring us over these past 25 years. We are truly blessed to have such a world-class musician as our Cantor, captivating us with the beauty of his voice on his own and also in his magnificent partnership with Cantor Bortnick. Most importantly, his kind soul shines through in everything he does. Cantor Manevich's arrival at Washington Hebrew also brought Emma and their wonderful children, Jacob, Mark, and Dina, and more recently, Megan and grandchildren, Benjamin, Joshua, and Ava. It would be hard to imagine any temple event without Emma's warm and friendly presence, and watching their family grow has been a source of great joy for the entire congregation. We thank each member of the family for their many contributions to our temple and congratulate all of them on reaching this milestone. And now it is my pleasure to introduce the chairs of this anniversary celebration, Lynn and Jim Klein, who are seated on the bima, and Lynn and Barry Chasen, who are also seated on the bima, who will tell us more about the weekend. I want to thank all of them for their hard work in planning what will certainly be a beautiful and memorable weekend. I know it was truly a labor of love on their part. Lynn and Barry.
Thank you, Sherry. And Shabbat Shalom. It's been our honor to serve with Lynn and Jim Klein as co-chairs of Let Freedom Sing, a weekend in celebration of a true treasure in our community. Tonight's service will include a resonant chorus of voices in praise of Cantor Manevich, including the Kol Rinah and youth choirs, the Manevich family, and of course our wonderful Washington Hebrew clergy. Representatives of our community will join in a spoken tribute to Cantor Manevich's personal history, extraordinary voice, commitment to community, and boundless compassion. We will unite our voices in a congregational prayer in honor of this milestone, which can be found in the insert in tonight's program. Following the service, we will enjoy a festive oneg, generously sponsored by the Washington Hebrew Sisterhood and the Furman and Miller families.
On Sunday, please join us for a Voices of a Movement, an evening honoring Cantor Manevich and celebrating our community's rich shared history. At 5 o'clock, the Jewish Historical Society of Greater Washington will open Voices of the Vigil, an exhibition documenting the local Jewish community's decades-long efforts on behalf of Soviet Jews. At 6 o'clock, we'll begin a memorable program featuring a keynote address by the iconic Natan Sharansky, noted former refusenik, retired Knesset member, and chairman of the Jewish Agency of Israel. Our 12th annual December concert follows, featuring Cantor Bortnik and the 3 Russian tenors in a repertoire of selections from Broadway, contemporary pop, and the Yiddish and Russian music traditions. We hope to see you there, and thank you all for helping make this weekend so memorable. Thank you.
We continue in our service as we turn in our prayer books to page 2. It is my privilege to call upon the mothers of our B'nai Mitzvah for this weekend, Christine Furman and Beth Friedman, to lead us in Sabbath prayer. She reads first. I think. Yes. You are first, Beth. Thanks.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
We all say, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kedeshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu l'vner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Shabbat nekabela, lecha koti likrat kala. B'nei Shabbat nekabela, lecha koti likrat kala. B'nei Shabbat nekabela. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה, תחילה, לילה לילה, לילה לך תודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך תודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך תודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. תוך ימונה עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לילה לילה, לילה לילה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך תודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך תודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת
Continue with Shalom Aleichem, which you can find on page 24.
Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi-Melech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Malachem leShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi-Melech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi-Melech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni leShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi-Melech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaShalom.
It is my privilege now to call upon members of our congregation who are going to share in a cantata for Cantor Manevich and who will first lead us in a congregational prayer, which you can find in your insert. We call for Joan Adolph from the Empty Nesters, Martha and Stuart Bindeman, who were on Cantor Manevich's search committee, Lynn Chasen, who is one of our co-chairs for Let Freedom Sing, Wendy and Jeff Kosman, the Boomers Planning Group liaisons, and Sherry Gottlieb, one of our co-chairs from Worship and Music. If they will join us on the bima. We join together.
For
25 years, Cantor Manevich has been a pillar of our congregation and community. He has led us in song and prayer and brought us comfort in times of need. With wisdom, he has shown us how to guard our tradition and use it as a guide to a more fulfilling life. Through his warmth and wit, he has brought us closer together as a community. May he continue to serve this historic congregation, the Jewish people, and our community with gentleness and kindness, with strength and conviction. May he continue to strive for freedom, justice, and peace for all people, using his own story of freedom as inspiration. May Cantor Manevich continue to lead us by his dedication and example. And may we join together on the journey towards you, O God. Bind us heart to heart and soul to soul, that we might be your people and you our God. Amen.
Mikhail Manevich, Misha to us, was born in Leningrad at the height of the Cold War. His musical aptitude and vocal talent were apparent at an early age, and he sang in the all-boys choir at Glinka's Choir School for many years. His achievements earned him a place at the prestigious Leningrad Conservatory of Music, graduating with a degree in choral conducting. Being a Jew in Russia in the 1970s was a challenge, to say the least. After he and Emma wed in 1975, they took the courageous step of notifying the authorities of their desire to emigrate to the U.S. They knew this would have consequences, and it did. Misha quit his job at a music school so his employer would not be punished for employing a Jew. Emma was expelled from college for the audacity of wanting a life of freedom. Then it was a wait, unsure when or even if they would be permitted to go. The good news came in the following year when they were permitted to leave. Arriving in New York, they sought assistance in resettling from the Jewish Communal Services Agency. The agency found Misha a job in the choir of Temple Emmanuel on the Upper East Side. There he met Cantor Wolfson, who took him under his wing and urged him to consider becoming a cantor. And, as we say, the rest is history.
"25 years ago, I was asked by David Foreman, the president of the congregation, to chair the search committee to find a replacement for Cantor Roy Garber. I told David that I wasn't sure that I was the right person, because I couldn't carry a tune in a wheelbarrow. David in his calm voice said, "That's okay, you know what our congregants want." And judging from tonight's turnout, David was right. I was fortunate to have a wonderful committee, including Dr. Herman Berlinski, who at the time was director of music. I remember when I asked Dr. Berlinski which of our final two candidates he thought would best serve the congregation. He said, Cantor number 1 was, "What you see is what you get." And as he gets older, his voice will fade, but with Cantor Manevich, we were just seeing the tip of the iceberg, and he would continue to grow and grow. How right he was. I have always thought how lucky we are to have Mikhail as our cantor and be able to listen to him sing at services, especially on the high holidays when I believe he sings truly from his heart.
As chair of the Temple's Worship and Music Committee, I was invited to be on the search committee for our new cantor 25 years ago. As part of the search process, we met and heard several candidates sing. I believe the last one we interviewed was Mikhail Manevich. The songs he had prepared to sing for us had a wide range of tone and beauty to them. His voice was smooth and sweet, yet melodiously emphatic when needed. After we all applauded, someone on the committee asked him to sing Sim Shalom, the prayer for peace. This request took the cantor aback just a tad, as he had not prepared to sing it specifically for this interview. However, he noted that the accompanist didn't have the music. However, he agreed to sing a cappella, and he brought the house down. He had truly captured our hearts, and he still captures them now.
On a trip to Russia with Cantor Manevich and Emma, we visited the Grand Choral Synagogue of St. Petersburg, located just a short distance from Cantor Manevich's childhood home. Because of Soviet oppression, Misha Manevich had never been allowed to enter this synagogue. The synagogue's cantor invited Misha to sing. It was a powerful, unforgettable moment. We sat in awe as Cantor Manevich's voice rang out through the domed ceilings of the St. Petersburg synagogue. Today, the sweetness and power of his voice fills our sanctuary with song and enhances the beauty of our prayers. He has led us from the lightheartedness of Broadway to the majesty of Kol Rinah. Misha found his freedom to sing and has given voice to so many others. Through the Poland music program and his support of talented musicians, Misha has opened our eyes and our ears to the richness and diversity of musical expression. From the glee of a university choir Shabbat to conducting the National Cathedral Choir, Misha has, with skill and with open arms, welcomed so many into our Washington Hebrew community. When Misha arrived in the United States, he inhaled a breath of freedom, and what he exhaled has been for us 25 years of music that has enriched beyond measure our own musical experience. Misha, you have sung Lechi Lach at so many of our weddings. It is you who has led us to places we did not know. It is you who has been our blessing.
We first met Cantor Manevich when our 3-year-old daughters became best friends nearly 25 years ago. Since then, we have been fortunate to get to know him as an exceptionally compassionate, beloved father with a big laugh and soft-spoken, selfless nature. Through example, he has taught his children the value of love, laughter, family, and community. These same characteristics he exhibits each day as a father translate beautifully to his remarkable leadership of WHC's auxiliaries.
We are truly grateful to have Misha as the Boomers liaison, helping grow a simple idea into a thriving community at Washington Hebrew. He is an indispensable asset to the empty nesters and respected advisor to members of the youth choir and Kol Rinah. Cantor Manevich has helped many of us during moments of great joy and profound sorrow with his altruistic spirit. From proudly assisting at a baby naming or a bris, to graciously mentoring B'nai Mitzvah. From lending his angelic voice at a marriage, to offering consoling words during times of illness or shiva. We are blessed to have him grace our families during these personal moments. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts for 25 years as our friend, cantor, and leader.
Charles Dickens wrote that there is a wisdom of the head and a wisdom of the heart. I represent the chairs of this weekend's events, and we feel that this quote sums up all the comments made by the others tonight. As you have heard, Cantor Manevich is one of those rare human beings who consistently shares his wisdom of both his head and his heart. Over the past 25 years, he has touched us all with his love, his wisdom, his caring, his nurturing, his spirituality, his friendship, his leadership, and of course, his glorious voice. We want to thank him for allowing us to honor him this weekend. He has made our 25-year journey richer for his presence, and we love him.
And so, combining the wisdom of head and heart, we turn into the prayers of our prayer book this evening. We begin, of course, with the call to worship on page 28. The Baruch Hu can be found on page 28. Please rise if you are able. We remain standing and turn to page 30, reading together at the bottom of the page. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tsebaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. Continuing on page 32, we read together, Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Please be seated.
Please join me as we chant the Ve'ahavta.
We can't imagine Judaism without music, without singing. But in our Torah, there's no singing in the book of Genesis. Adam and Eve don't sing, and Abraham and Sarah don't sing, and Joseph doesn't even sing down in Egypt. No, it's not until we get to Exodus that Moses becomes our first cantor. And it's not until matching the theme of our weekend that our joy is matched with freedom. As the Israelite slaves come out of Egypt and witness the parting of the sea and they walk through, then the first song comes into Judaism. Who is like you, O God, who fills us with so much love and blessing? We join together in that same song on page 40, Mi Chamocha. We continue at the bottom of page 43. Please join me. Give us a place to rest, Adonai, our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. On page 44. Veshamru, the people of Israel shall keep Shabbat, observing Shabbat throughout the ages as a covenant for all time. It is a sign for all time between me and the people of Israel. For in 6 days Adonai made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day God ceased from work and was refreshed.
Shabbat Shalom. One of the great bonuses our congregation has enjoyed these past 25 years is getting to know Cantor Manevich's wonderful family. Jacob, Mark, and Dina were young when they arrived in Washington, and we have literally grown up with them. And in recent years, they've joined us with Jacob's wife, Megan, and their wonderful children. And who knew when we hired Michael that we would get two for the price of one, with Emma by his side. Emma's dedication to Washington Hebrew is as deep as Michael's. She is here at every Shabbat service, and no one is busier at the Oneg than Emma, who is always on the lookout for an unfamiliar face in the crowd to make them welcome. She is also best when it comes to introducing two current member families to one another if she thinks they do not know one another. That is particularly true if the two families each have a child who is single and Emma thinks they should be dating each other. If tonight were the Academy Awards, Emma certainly would win the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress. The only difference is that with Emma, her support and dedication is not an act. Her love of family and the temple is genuine, and we reciprocate it to her in equal measure. So let's pretend we're in Hollywood tonight and open this envelope. And the award for Best Performance performance in a supporting role goes to Emma Manevich. Emma, please come up and accept your Oscar. For you, Emma. Just for you.
Thank you, Lynn, so much for this unexpected award. Now I'll start thinking about writing memoirs. Maybe one day we'll make it into a movie. Lynn mentioned me, but as you can see, our children, Jacob and his wife, Meg, our son, Mark, and our daughter, Dina, they're always such an integral part of our family. We always do everything together, and so I could not be here without having our children who are very busy with their own lives, but to be here when Cantor is being honored. For those of you, as Lynn mentioned, who know me well, I've never been short of words. But tonight, celebration is overwhelming. And no matter how much I love First Amendment and freedom of speech, I will be short and just express a few words of gratitude. We just have finished celebrating two wonderful holidays, Thanksgiving and Hanukkah. But tonight, my mind goes to the Passover story of freedom, and specifically the song Dayenu, since music is very special to us. If Mikhail and I had just found each other and wed when I was 18 and he was 22, we could have said Dayenu. If we had just been allowed to leave the frightening dictatorship of the Soviet Union and come to this blessed land, we could have said Dayenu. If we had just had our oldest son, Jacob, that would be terrific. If we just had our middle son, Mark, awesome. If we just had our daughter, Dina, amazing. Having all three, plus our daughter-in-law, Meg, who is our daughter as well, and our three blessings, which are our grandchildren, Ben, Josh, and Ava. These are our blessings, and we say Dayenu for that. If Mikhail had just found out that what the word cantor meant and took a chance to become one, that would be Dayenu. If we had just found our way only to New Jersey, it wouldn't be complete. But God led us to Washington Hebrew congregation, and we say Dayenu. We put tremendous amount of effort and hard work to achieve so many of our hopes and dreams. And finally, we achieved the miracle. We found our way to Washington Hebrew congregation 25 years ago, where we met so many caring, dear, wonderful, and thoughtful people. To say how much you all mean to us, I'll go back to Thanksgiving holiday to express our deep felt gratitude to be a part of this amazing congregation. You embraced us, our children and our grandchildren, with love, friendship, made us part of your families, and we are so appreciative for all of that. And you, our dear clergy, our mentors, temple leaders, friends, made our lives sparkle and glow like the Hanukkah candle. Thank you from the bottom of our heart for all your kindness and love and making us part of your family for the last 25 years.